Commissioners General Session. Today is February 20th, 2018, and let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner John O'Grady. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I believe we have some guests today, but they are in the security line on their way up. So if someone could just let me know, give me the high sign when they arrive, we'll stop the program and let our guests introduce our guests. We don't have any notes or any minutes to pass? Okay, all right. Caught me off guard there a little bit.
You didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, there's no minutes to pass.
What do we do?
What's wrong? This is wrong. This is wrong. So first, we'll begin with the Clerk of Courts.
Resolution number 128-18, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation to support the FCJS modernization project.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Jason Sankey, Chief Information Officer with the Clerk of Courts.
Adam Lukaupt on behalf of the Board of Commissioners and the E-Governance Board.
The approval of this resolution will authorize the transfer of funds from the Criminal Justice Information System Fund to provide consulting services to assist with project management, evaluation, and demonstration support as the county moves forward with the selection of a new court case management system. This resolution has been reviewed and approved by the E-Governance Board.
This is exciting. Some great stuff. This has been the entirety of my career in county government, so I am excited about this. Move approval of Resolution 128-18.
I'll second. Adam, did you have something you wanted to add?
We see the light now. At the end of this line, so that's what I have to add.
And it's not a train.
Long time coming, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for the public, so they may understand if they're watching it. I mean, this is the kind of thing that helps to speed things along, make things a little smoother, eliminate sort of mishaps or information gaps, right?
This is going to allow for computer systems to talk to each other. This is going to allow for all of county government, all of the folks within the criminal, the justice system, the entire justice system. So whether it's the courts, whether it's the sheriff's department, whether it's the adult probation department, whether it's anybody along the chain of the justice system, those computer systems, instead of being siloed and doing their own work in their own time, this system will allow all of them to then touch each other, communicate with each other, talk, and pass information back and forth. But not only will it then allow for the smooth transition of that information, but it'll allow for the manipulation of that information so that those systems can then not just talk to each other, but then in real time we can see and understand better how that information can be used. So something as simple as an adult probation officer knowing when their probationers have touch or have some sort of an appointment with the system, so they'll see when somebody has one of their folks has an appointment within the system, or we'll be able to know as county commissioners, what the costs are, how many people are in jail at any given time. We'll be able to use this information as commissioners as well. So it's a fantastic system. It'll be something that'll be county government will be able to use much more efficiently. I'm excited about it.
And when you consider the magnitude and size of Franklin County, its operations, I mean, it just makes sense that we have real modern software, modern hardware to do all the things that Commissioner Brady laid out.
Let me expound even farther beyond that. We also talk to other counties with this as well. So, if we pick up somebody here in Franklin County and they have an arrest warrant in another county, it'll automatically notify, and we'll know as long as we're in communication with that county. We're not going to be talking to all 88 counties because we aren't that far yet. But
yeah, we're talking about a full data exchange
and
with all the systems.
Data-driven justice
Absolutely.
work will be facilitated.
That's
so
exactly
that
right.
people I mean, this is all about people. This
It
is
is,
not
and-
about just moving data
And
along.
that's right.
This is people.
That's
And
right.
one instance is, if there's a domestic violence,
Mhm.
occurrence, and then that could propagate all the way to children's services.
Right.
If there's a potential foster care household, they would know about it before the child's placed. So these are things that can save lives.
Yeah.
Absolutely critical.
Yes, it's very important.
So thank you.
Yeah, and thanks
Finally.
for expounding.
It's a great thing that kind of something that, I mean, Commissioner Brown's been working on, you know, on her end for so long, and then this is something I've been working on my end for so long, and now they finally
They're melding.
Now they can talk.
connect.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 128-18 has been adopted.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioners. Appreciate it.
And I see our guest has arrived, and so at this time, as you all know, February is Black History Month, or as Commissioner Brown put it, American History Month. I love that. I've been using that ever since. Appreciate that. But we really want to take the time each Tuesday morning to highlight something in Central Ohio or Ohio that is connected to African American history. And so this month, or this Tuesday, we'd like to welcome our guest, Dr. Charles Wash. Good to see you. Long time no see since my time in the legislature, who is the director of the National Afro-American Museum and Cultural Center and part of the Ohio History Collection. Dr. Wash?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, President Boyce, commissioners. Appreciate the invitation being here. We at the National Afro-American Museum and Cultural Center in Wilberforce, we always take the opportunity to share what we do on a daily basis with really whomever will listen to us. And I like what you said about Black History Month being American History Month. Aside from being the executive director of the museum there, I also am a adjunct professor at Central State University, and that's what I teach our students, is that African American history isn't a subset of American history.
It is.
It's inextricably connected to everything else that's going on, and that's one of the things that we do. We try to not only collect and preserve, but also share the information that we learn. So we're constantly collecting materials from all over the country, all over Ohio, and we share that in various forms. But I'm here to just really share some of the things that we're doing right now at the museum. Really exciting times for us. We're still building, or really rebuilding. Not many people understand that we are actually celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. We've been around for 30 years, which seems pretty hard to believe, but here we are. We were the first national African American Museum and Cultural Center in the United States. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't seem to take pride in that, and that's part of our mission, is to make sure we share that with the state of Ohio. It's something that is historic. We talk about Black History Month, African American History Month, or American History Month. We are history. We're living history. That institution in the 1980s was supposed to be what the Smithsonian recently built on the mall, the National Museum of African American History and Culture. That's what we were supposed to be 30 years ago. One thing led to another, didn't happen, but the state of Ohio really did justice to our history and our culture by taking on the project, making it into the institution that we are today. So just to share a couple of things with you guys, we do have a 30th anniversary exhibit that we're building. I believe, and my curator's not with me, she would probably pinch me and tell me how to give dates, but we're shooting for April. It's something that was, we didn't really plan on, but we figured the public would really get a lot out of it because we are a historic institution. And to understand what we went through from the late 60s and 70s that made it such that we wanted the National African American Museum in this country. I think everything that led up to that is telling, especially in these days of time. It's a really important story to tell, and that's what we're working on. So I kind of pushed the exhibit idea. You know, not everyone's a learner who can just take in oral activity. We need visuals, so I really pushed for the exhibit. So that's for that in April. She's not here, so I can say that. This is telephone. Another thing that we are doing, I mentioned the National Museum of African American History and Culture that the Smithsonian just built. One other part I think Ohioans really need to take pride in is in the fact that they consulted us on a couple of their exhibits, and we actually insisted on cutting that in half to 5 because we have connections around the world, and over the last 3 to 4 years, we've seen an uptick in interest in African American protest art throughout Western Europe. We're talking about England, Germany, France. They've all consulted with us, borrowed our major exhibits that we had at the Museum du Braley in France, in Paris. They used a lot of our art to showcase African American history and culture and that spirit of protest against the government and issues of civil rights. So that's something that people around the world are really taking note of, and we are connected to that. So we told the Smithsonian we can give you guys a 5-year loan period just in case someone else wants to come in and borrow some of our very rare art that we have in our collections. Again, we were collecting in the late 70s, early 80s, before the actual building was built. No one really was collecting on that scale back then. So we have art that you will not find anywhere else in the world. And I think other institutions really have taken note of that and really take pride in it. We take pride in that as well. Right now, this is Black History Month. The Association for the Study of Life and History, African American Life and History, themed this year's Black History Month, African Americans in Times of War. So it's a military focus this year. And we just so happen to have a World War II African American exhibit on display right now. And that's going to be up until 2022, I believe. We're going to change it up probably once a year or so, add some things, take some things down. Phenomenal exhibit. If you guys haven't visited us, and I don't see any familiar faces, so I don't think anybody from here has visited us to see that, just come take a look. It's something that it sheds a new light on World War II and African Americans in that theater, both at home and abroad. Some of the more cutting edge research we consulted in order to build around those concepts and ideas. So it's one of those exhibits that actually give you chills. And again, the focus isn't so much just African Americans, what they did. It's what were they doing in the total context of World War II? How did they assist? Who assisted them, et cetera, et cetera. So it's phenomenal. Takes up our entire John Fleming gallery. So please come see us. And one of the, I don't want to call it a criticism, but one of the things that I've heard since I've been director for almost 7 years now is that you guys are way out well before. You didn't travel all the way out there. What are you guys doing here in Franklin County? What are you guys doing in Columbus? Usually the answer is not a whole lot. But over the last couple of years, we really focused on the idea of what can we do? How can we bring history to the people here in Columbus? So later this fall, I believe it's going to be October 13th, we're going to unveil our 5th annual Black Heritage Through Visual Rhythms art show. This is a jury art show. It's a national art show. Artists from all over the country. And we've actually had artists from the Caribbean come in and submit art as well. So it's really inclusive. But that's actually going to be at the Ohio History Center this year in Columbus. That's our headquarters for the Ohio History Connection. So it'll be there at the History Center. It should be well worth your time and effort to get out to see that. So that's our attempt to really bring what we do to the people here in Franklin County, the people here in Columbus. I think it's really important because I would say at least a third of the artists over the last 4 years are from the Columbus area. So why not have it here? So it's in people's backyard. So we're really excited about that. My assistant director gave me a whole bunch of notes, and you guys noticed I haven't really looked at it. I don't do well with notes. But I do want to share with you guys one of the things that we're trying to do, that we're going to continue to do, is get our kids from the school systems here in Franklin County, really all over Ohio, to visit us in Wilberforce. I think we used to do that back in the 80s, early 90s. I think it was one of those trips that most schools look forward to. But economics and the time period, played a part in lessening that. So we're looking for grants. We're looking for lots of opportunities to bus kids out to see that, because with arts getting cut out of the school system so often these days, most of our kids aren't having the opportunity to see that type of art, to see what people are doing and how they're expressing themselves. So I think it's really important. So that's one of the things we're working on. We're very successful. We reconnected with Cleveland and Akron, to an extent some of the Columbus City schools as well, and we're trying to build on that to get them out. If we have to write grant after grant, that's what we're going to do, but it's really important for for our youth to understand how art is used historically in our culture, not just African American culture, in American culture. Very, very important. So I want to leave you guys with, again, I may have said this the last time I was here. A lot of the work we do, a lot of the collections that we have in our archives, you can actually see that online. It's available at www.ohiohistory.org. ohiomemory.org. It's an online repository for our digital images. Lots of institutions are a part of that. Just go to the drop-down menu for the National Afro-American Museum, and you'll see what we have. And it's constantly changing. We're always adding images of material that we have in the archives, in our three-dimensional collection. So you can almost do some research online. We have lots and lots of material that you see, thousands of documents and photographs. A lot of that actually relates specifically to Ohio African Americans. Not necessarily sports. I'm from Michigan. I know you guys like Ohio State a lot. We don't focus too much on sports, but we do have that. But we have lots of historic figures in civil rights, in city government, state government, things of that nature. We're still waiting to set something up with President Boyce. You made history as well, so we'd like to see some of your papers in our archives as well. So that's what you'll see online. We just want to share all that information with you all. Lastly, this being our 30th anniversary again, if you guys want to help us along, we have a 30 for 30 campaign. Just go to our webpage and get more information about that. We're doing 30 for 30, $30 donations for the 30 years that we've been in existence. Really trying to spread the word about African American history and culture, how integral it is to American history.
Dr. Walsh, I appreciate you being here and talking again about what you've done. And the virtual collections, amazing, but you have to be there. And it would be helpful for you if you could give the ways that people could get to the museum, or at least get the information about the museum, because we have listeners and watchers of this show that we call our general session. And if they are interested in coming out to see you, how would they do that?
Well, you could go to our webpage. I'm glad you asked that. Go to our webpage, which is a page off of the main Ohio History Connection.
It's off of ohiohistory.org.
Google Maps says it's only an
Yeah.
hour.
No, it's not that far.
I just Googled it, it's only an hour.
Not that far. Yeah.
That's if you actually drive the speed limit. Which I do if I can.
Of course you do, of course you do.
You know, Dr. Walsh, you mentioned that you're focusing on this month on African American in the war effort. This year we'll be opening the new National Veterans Memorial Museum here in Columbus, and there's going to be an exhibit that focuses on the Tuskegee Airmen. This was their home base here at Lockbourne Air Force Base, which is now Rickenbacker. And so the Tuskegee Airmen were based here in Columbus, and so there's going to be an entire exhibit focused on the Tuskegee Airmen, and so there's an effort to make sure that schools throughout Ohio know and understand that there's a focus on the Tuskegee Airmen here at the museum. So I think that we'll have to have folks in touch with you to make sure that there's a connection there, so that as you're reaching out to school kids throughout the state and schools throughout the state, that there's a connection, that there's an understanding, so that you guys can maybe marry that up and maybe do some work around that.
Absolutely. That's a very important part of our history as well. And we do have papers in our archival collection, Tuskegee Airmen, various airmen. We tried to get a couple of oral interviews. There's a couple who are still here in Ohio, passed away recently. I believe we may have gotten one oral interview, I believe. But that's a very important, and again, we saw the movie, a lot of us saw the movie Red Tails, but didn't really understand that those guys were actually here in Ohio, something to take a lot of pride in, and why they were here as well. not so much they were here, but why were they here? Very important. So yes, we're actually going to work with them to help really tell the Colonel Charles Young story in the Veterans Museum as well. Very important historic figure. I think we haven't talked about him as well before. But again, a lot of people don't really know that history and connection here in Ohio. And even some of his friends that they, talk back and forth with in Wilberforce, W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, they were all there consulting each other. So very important history. I appreciate that.
I'll just conclude by saying that, Black History Month is such a rich story of American history, and it continues in that legacy today. And what you really represent is the passing on from one generation to the next information and history that allows us to value it deeper. And most of us, our families come from other places. Just about nearly everyone in America. And whether your family came here through the potato famine or through the Holocaust or through the slave trade, one way or another, our history comes together and defines what America is. And so it's great that last week we reflected on the Harlem Renaissance and its artistic impact and cultural impact to American history. And there's an effort here at Central Ohio to celebrate that all year. And so you should connect with Larry James and Tom Katzenmeyer and Nanette, I can never say her last name, Mesa Junis at the Art Museum, because there's a real collaborative opportunity there and an opportunity for the museum to be exposed even more. I see Stephanie Hightower is here from the Urban League. She's going to be hosting the National Urban League conference this summer, and there may be an opportunity to display some artwork at some point there to give us our own sort of flavor in terms of Ohio and African American history. So Stephanie's back there. If you could just wave if you don't know her and connect. But I would definitely follow up with Larry James and Tom and Nanette, and let's bring all of this together. This is the perfect time. You bring the perfect resource to that conversation and connection, and we'd be remiss if we didn't highlight that. So it's really an honor to have you here today and what you represent. And I haven't been there for a year or two, so I need to make my way back and come visit. I got to come into Central State too, so I'll do that.
Okay, I'm heading back.
Unfortunately, my staff has me booked through June at this point, so we'll see. But maybe that's something I can accomplish this month. We'll see.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
thanks for
so
coming, Dr.
much
Walsh.
for
Good to
being
see you again
here.
too. I don't know if everyone knows, but the African American the National Afro-American Museum is actually funded by the state of Ohio through the Ohio History Connection, and that's a unique investment that the state does itself. And so it should be noted that Ohio invests in that history as part of our history too. Very well. So thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
being here. Continue with our agenda. Next, we have the engineer's office.
Resolution number 129-18, resolution accepting the annual bridge inspection report for 2017.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Cornell Robertson, Franklin County Engineer. With me today,
Carla Marable.
Commissioners, this first resolution is the annual bridge inspection report for year 2017. We inspected each of the 366 bridges, 9 of which are owned by railroads. And I have some good news to share and some news to be aware of. First, the good news. No bridge conditions are listed as failed, imminent failure, critical, or serious. Also, 87% were rated satisfactory or better. The news to be aware of is that 13%, totaling 47 bridges, were rated fair or poor, which are the condition categories when we start to program bridges for rehabilitation or replacement. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
I just want to add that I got to go out on bridge inspections earlier or sometime last year, and it's one of those things that you don't really think about as a citizen or as a public servant person until something goes wrong, until something bad happens. And so I just want to say that, and it's amazing to know what goes into the inspection, and the different types of bridges that exist and the work that you all do. And so your office should be commended in staying ahead of this and in keeping the commissioners abreast so that we are making the right decisions as well. And so, despite having to crawl under bridges and get in water and all that stuff, it was a good experience and definitely a learning experience. So thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the report, and critically important is the safety of people on the roads.
Yes.
So anything we need to do, we'll have to do to make sure that
Yeah.
those bridges and roads stay safe.
Yeah, we want to stay ahead of it,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
definitely.
Move approval of Resolution 12918.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 129-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 130-18, IBI Group Incorporated Consulting Engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer in performing preliminary engineering for the Hayden Run Road under I-270 Shared Use Path Project, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $76,111.
Commissioners, this capital improvement project is in the northwest part of the county. It's along Hayden Run Road, under I-270, and over Hayden Run Creek itself. This resolution is for a preliminary design contract with IBI. It will be a coordinated project with Franklin County, of course, City of Columbus, and Hilliard. The project will fill an existing gap in the shared use path and will rehabilitate that bridge on Hayden Run Road.
Move approval of 13018.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 130-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 131-18, Evans, McWhirter, Hamilton, and Tilton Incorporated Consulting Engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer in preparing right-of-way and construction plans for the Roberts Road Shared Use Path Project in the amount of $44,843.
This capital improvement project is also in the northwest part of the county. It's along Roberts Road from West Rock Drive east to Clovergroff Run. This will also be a coordinated project with Franklin County, City of Columbus, and Hilliard, and will also fill a gap in the shared use path from West Rock east to the path along Clovercroft Run.
Move approval of 13118.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 131-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 132-18, Prime AE Group Incorporated Consulting Engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer in providing engineering services for Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $100,000.
Commissioners, this is a general engineering services contract with Prime AE. We expect to have them help us with some projects in the Valley View area that will complete gaps in the Camp Chase Trail.
Move approval of 13218.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 132-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 133-18, resolution authorizing contracts with Affiliated Resource Group, Direct IT Limited, and Draftco Incorporated to provide expert consulting services in the amount of $179,130.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution seeks approval for a professional services contract with Direct IT, Draftco, and an affiliated group for IT services. Each of these vendors provides IT services such as technical support for our inventory management system and also for our network and infrastructure security system. We've worked with all these vendors in the past, and Draftco is a veteran-owned and small business.
Move approval of 13318.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 133-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 134-18, report second, establishing sums of compensation and damages for a portion of the owners on the Morse Road at Kitzmiller Road Improvement Project, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $12,767.
Commissioner, this next resolution seeks compensation and damage for one of the property owners along the Morris Road at Kitzmiller Improvement Project, located in both Jefferson and Plain Townships. We are recommending that these cases are appropriated, which will allow us to maintain the construction schedule while allowing additional time for further negotiations.
Move approval of 13418.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 134-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 135-18, report third, establishing sums of compensation and damages for a portion of the owners on the Morris Road at Kitzmiller Road Improvement Project, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $42,180.
This next resolution also seeks compensation and damage for another property owner along that Morris Road at Kitzmiller Road Improvement Project. We are also recommending appropriation for this property owner as well.
Move approval of 13518.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 135-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 136-18, report fourth of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Morris Road at Kitzmiller Road Improvement, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $12,500.
Commissioners, this final resolution seeks also compensation and damage for another property owner along that Morris Road at Kitzmiller Road Improvement Project. We have successfully negotiated with this property owner. Their property was appraised by a licensed appraiser, and their compensation was based on fair market value.
Move approval of 13618.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 136-18 has been adopted.
Thank
very
you.
much. So much. Next, we have Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 137-18, resolution approving a subaward agreement with Columbus Urban League for CCMEP in-school youth services in the amount of $1,525,000.
We can have our guests come forward too. Ms. Hightower, if you want to come forward, and I understand David Holt, David Helm are also joining us.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before I read a resolution regarding the comprehensive case management program that you all know that was in the governor's biennial 2016-17 budget that blends both WIOA and TANF dollars together to service Opportunity Youth 14 to 24. If you remember, when the program was initially launched, it only serviced the 16 to 24 Opportunity Youth that were out of school. Later on, the state gave guidance to service the 14 to 15-year-old population, which is year-round. The Columbus Urban League has been one of our partners with the county for many years, and they were one of the organizations that bid on the organization, became a partner in this program that we rebranded as AMP, Achieve More and Prosper. We felt that CCMEP was sounded clinical, and no young person would catch on to that, so we decided to rebrand that. And before I go on with the resolution, I would like to have Ms. President Hightower come and just kind of talk about the program, as well as one of our participants when she has completed hers. Yes.
I don't need to stand up here because this is really the byproduct of why this program is so important. But let me just say to President Boyce and Commissioners Brown and O'Grady and County Administrator, we really appreciate the continued partnership as well as your belief and support of our work. It is so important, and with this being Black History Month, and Commissioner Boyce, just so President Boyce, just so you know, I did write down as soon as we start talking and had Dr. Walsh up here, that is exactly what I wrote down, that I definitely need to get in touch with him for the National Urban League Conference. Because this year, for those of you who don't know, the Columbus Urban League is celebrating its 100th year anniversary. And we came into existence because of the Great Migration back in 1917, where African Americans came up from the South who were coming out of poverty, being sharecroppers, and who then wanted to look at that equity and economic equity here in the urban centers across the country. And the unfortunate thing today is that after 100 years later, we are still having to put together programs such as CCMEP or AMP as it's called. Ours is called Real. Candace can tell, I don't know that they got these acronyms, the young people have to have acronyms. But it's real potential, that's what it, there we go, they're nodding. But it's unfortunate that we still have to have these kinds of programs today. My thought was that after 100 years, you would think the Columbus Urban League would be out of existence, but unfortunately, we are still here today, and we welcome the opportunity to really help you to get the mission done that the county commissioners have put into place, and then to be able to have opportunities to work with young people, such as David, who really exemplifies why this program exists, and really exemplifies, and I have to say for my team and my staff, this is why we do our work. Here's why we do our work, why it's so important that we put programs like this in place, that they're rigorous, that they are programs that really look at kids' real potential and help them get to the next, as well as the family stability piece that's really important. So it's not just about work, it's about leadership development, it's about character development, it's about making sure that we have young people ready for the next.
Mhm.
We have so many great young people in this community that have that untapped potential, and so I just get the pleasure of being able to see the byproduct. And I know County Administrator, he came to our graduation ceremony last year at Ohio State, where we did for the first time our workforce development training, which was phenomenal. And I'm going to let David really talk from this point. Let me be quiet, because this is the real person we should be talking to.
Welcome, David.
How you guys doing? Good to see you guys. I'm a little bit, a small bit nervous. I didn't expect to have any remarks, but I'm always ready.
All right.
And that's thanks to everybody in the work they've done. So basically, I'm just going to open up by telling a small piece of my story and how it's kind of miraculous in a way. I come from Princeton, West Virginia. That's Mercer County. I believe last time I checked, that's the second most covered county in West Virginia. I have to fact check me on that. Come from a single parent household. And me and my mother moved to Ohio when I was just 5 years old. So at that point, you know, she's worried about maintaining and whatnot, trying to raise a son also. Years pass, I'm growing, I'm getting more mature, and I come across the Urban League. One of my friends was like, you should look into the Urban League. They really do a lot of good work. And at first I was like, I don't know, man. I'm just going to stay at my job at McDonald's. That's where I was working at. But then I actually gave the Urban League a try, and I'm ever so thankful that I did, because I have been in the Urban League Summer Youth Empowerment Program for 2 years. Last year, we went to Ohio State, and we had a very growing and sort of thrilling experience, because you have all these youth in the same place, all these great minds together, and just sort of inspires you. But let me just go on with my story. So I was actually, my first year at the Urban League, I learned a whole lot. I learned how to be more mature. I also learned how to manage money, and I also learned the great skill that is leadership. And through the Summer Youth Empowerment Program, I've actually become a leader. I was a leader at my high school. I ran all of our senior activities. I led our senior tag. I collected all the money for that with the skill of managing money that I got from the Urban League. So I managed about a $1,000 pot, you know. But anyway, on with the story, as I said. So I was actually the 2016 Buckeye Boys State Governor, and that was one of the most thrilling experiences for me. And again, I owe a lot of the skills I learned to become the governor from the Urban League and the work that the Urban League does. And it's just, in relation to myself, in relation to all the other youths out in our community, the Urban League plays a pivotal role in tapping into that untapped potential that exists in every youth in our community. I'm just one example of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just very thankful to have been a part of the Urban League, the Urban League Summer Youth Empowerment Program, working with our social media, being able to work at Columbus State under Charlie Boss, and being able to work at Paul Worth and assist them in their endeavors with AMP and other endeavors. I'm just very thankful, because had it not been for the Urban League, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm very thankful.
Well, Commissioner, I
Wow.
don't know what you say after that, but David is the epitome of what this program emulates. And I just want to just point out the Urban League, this year was the year we said that we don't, as Job and Family Services, we're able to count things. Like we can tell you how many families receive food assistance and cash assistance and zip codes. But this year we want to go from being additionally to being transactional, but being more transformative. And David, thank you for sharing that story, because that is the reason why we do what we do every day at Job and Family Services. That is why our commissioners allow us to do what we do, because they want as many young people that they can touch and reach to be as successful as you are. So thank you, President Hightower. Thank you to the Columbus Urban League. Do you have any remarks?
Yeah, I'll just add that I want to say thank you to David for coming here and sharing your story. It's really important that the public hear how we're investing our money, but more importantly, what the outcomes are. And you're the best example of that. And you really represented yourself well today. Not that I expected anything less, but you're quite impressive. I do want to say you reminded me of myself. Many years ago, my first job experience was through the Private Industry Council. And as a young person, old PIC program. And I remember very specifically a lot of things you said. Learning this, I was working at McDonald's as well before then. No, I think that came after. PIC was first. Yeah. Anyways, you learned, to me, the things that you reminded me of this, the things that you really pick up are the soft skills about working. You were working at McDonald's, so you already knew what it was like to have a job and have responsibility. But then you learn things like showing up on time, dressing appropriate attire, and even personal interaction. I can tell you clearly have been in a professional environment just by the way you present and the way you interact. And that's something that comes from job experience. And so I just want to say, this is one of those programs, once again, where it's hard to measure the multiple layers of the outcomes. It's easy to say we put this many people in jobs, this many kids in jobs, but the things that we don't see is the soft skill development, the work skills that we're developing that aren't often measured. And you're the best example of all of those layers coming to fruition and really demonstrating what it means to invest in our young people. And so I just want to thank you for what you're doing. I want to encourage you to continue to invest in yourself, because that's what you did when you said, hey, when someone told you about the Urban League, and then you took the initiative to follow up. You took the initiative to fill out the application, to get involved, and to work hard, and then have different opportunities. And that's really what this conversation is all about. And so I just want to encourage you and say thank you. The $1.5 million is not enough for what we should be doing with our youth, but it's a strong investment at Franklin County. And I've worked at the different levels of government, and I can tell you there is no level of investment like what the county does for our youth. And so I want to just thank you, Director, for championing this program and certainly highlighting it's very appropriate for you to bring the Urban League here and a young person here to highlight exactly what we do. And so thank you so much.
We invest dollars, but we're really investing in lives.
Yes.
And thank you for being here to show us and remind people in positions like ours of the importance of investing in people. And President Hightower, thank you. And Director Bivens, thank you.
Oh, you want? Please, yeah.
Thank you again. And I also, I just get to stand here and really talk about the work, but I really want to make sure that I want to recognize some of my folks that are here today. So our director, Candace Greenway, just passionate about young people and really appreciate the work that she does. She always slaps
Stand
me.
up, Candace. You recognize.
She always gives me, slaps me in the place, like, we need to do this for these kids. And I say it costs too much, but we're going to make it happen. And so thank you to Candace. And then our CFO, Mary Love, she makes sure that every one of those young people gets paid on time during the summer youth employment program, as well as compliance and making sure that with federal dollars and all that money, how it comes down the pike, and make sure you have to have this I, dotted and these T's crossed. And so I know County Administrator Wilson always makes sure that we have those I's and T's crossed, and so I thank him too. No, he does. And he came out last year to Ohio State.
Yeah.
He said he was only going to stay for 10 minutes for the ceremony, and he saw how inspiring those youth were. He ended up staying probably about an hour and a half.
I did.
And, you know, so it just really shows you, once you see these young people and you see what they really can do, they are so inspirational, and they do. This is why we wake up in the morning and do the work that we do. So I do just want to recognize my staff for all of their hard work. So thank you for that.
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely.
Commissioners, President Boyce, if I may, I was very grateful for the opportunity to attend the boot camp last year. I received the invite from President and CEO of the Urban League, Ms. Hightower. When I got there, it was motivational to see the young people and to see those that survived, because a few went home that didn't meet the expectation. So, you know, we set the bar. You can't do what you need to do. Some people got sent home, but those that were there, it was great to see the video that they made, chronicling their experiences at OSU and how the groups bonded together in a short period of time. And I talked to them about being on time, about it is important that you give a certain appearance and an impression that's as important as what's in your head, the way you represent yourself, that your clothes are ironed. And Mr. Helm, here's a perfect example of that, what I was presenting that's important when we're in a professional environment. So it was very good to see this because I believe that it's very difficult for young people to be something that they don't see. But examples like David here gives young people something that they can see and something that they can follow. So I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing because you can be a role model and you can inspire those to follow you as you go on and do great things in life. So just keep doing what you're doing, young man. Thank you.
And Commissioners, just for the camera, I just want to make mention that this is a program that came out of Governor K6 2016-17 budget. This is a partnership with the Central Ohio Workforce Development Board and Job and Family Services. We administer TANF, they administer the WIOA dollars. This is a program whereas you normally walk in Job and Family Services and we sign you up for benefits support services. But with this program, what we're saying is we're going to assist you in eliminating your barrier first. So whatever that barrier may be, whether education, parenting, mentoring, there are 14 core elements that we are to target working with the Columbus Urban League. They get these young people in, they work with them, not just in summer, but it's year round. So the Urban League will serve an estimate of 225 in-school youth, ages 14 to 18, while referring eligible out-of-school youth, 18 to 24, to our other contracted AMP providers such as Eckerd, Impact, and Ohio Guidestone. Again, thank you for, I'm partial to young people. I love young people because I love investing and seeing what you can do in your potential. So David, if you're looking for a job when you graduate and I'm still sitting here, come holler at me. But pending any questions, I would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Just where would someone go if listening public wanted to sign their student up or they wanted to get more information? What's the website that they would visit to learn more or get an application?
They can go to our Franklin County Job and Family Services website, Commissioner. There is a link on there, and if you ask me what the exact comma period, what the website is, I do not know that, but they can go to Franklin County Job and Family Services website, and there is a link for AMP on there.
They can go to the Urban League as well.
Yes.
Columbus Urban League. Is it Columbus Urban League just CUL.org or is it CUL.org? I'll post it on social media today. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Move approval of Resolution 13718.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 137-18 has been adopted.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
again.
Sure. Oh, and do a picture? Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, okay. Next, community partnerships.
Resolution number 138-18, resolution authorizing a one-year collaboration agreement with Franklin County Public Health to administer contracts for healthcare services for low-income, underinsured, or uninsured county residents.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dana McCrary, OMB. This resolution, as the clerk said, would authorize a one-year collaboration with Franklin County Public Health so that we can then go ahead and enter into contracts with health-serving organizations such as Cancer Support Community of Central Ohio Diabetes Association, Charitable Pharmacy of Central Ohio, Heart of Ohio Family Health Center, Nationwide Children's Hospital, Physicians Care Connection, and Primary One Health. So if there are no questions, I would ask for approval of this resolution.
Move approval of Resolution 138-18.
I'll second, and this is a good collaboration with the health department to be able to fund these. Thank you.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Move, yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 138-18 has been adopted.
Go ahead. Purchase.
Next, purchasing.
Resolution number 139-18, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $4,313,010.07.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuthbert, representing the Purchasing Department. The resolution before you requests for approval of 138 purchase orders. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as availability funded by the county auditor. Pending any questions, I recommend their approval.
Move approval of Resolution 139-18.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 139-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Next, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 140-18, resolution authorizing a contract with Frost Brown Todd for services associated with bond counsel and provide advice in public finance matters during 2018.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Choleric with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution will authorize a contract with Frost Brown Todd to serve as bond counsel, as well as provide advice in other public finance matters. This includes a review of the county's post-issuance compliance policy for the issuance of debt. That is related to the $15,000 purchase order that's attached to this resolution. There would also be payment pending the issuance of bonds later in the year based on the par amount of the bonds. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 140-18.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 140-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 141-18, resolution authorizing a contract with Brooker and Eckler for services associated with arbitrage, rebate, and yield restriction compliance during 2018 in the amount of $10,000.
Commissioners, related to the issuance of bond, this contract allows the county to meet its obligations under IRS requirements to ensure that rebate calculations are calculated on tax-exempt bonds. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 141-18.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 141-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 142-18, resolution authorizing a consulting agreement with Ice Miller in an amount not to exceed $280,000 for legal and consulting services in the amount of $280,000.
Commissioners, this contract for legal services is related to our collective bargaining matters as well as review of workers' compensation claims. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 142-18.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 142-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 143-18, resolution authorizing the use of a portion of the proceeds of bonds or bond anticipation notes of the county in the estimated principal amount of not to exceed $200 million to be issued for the purpose of constructing the new Franklin County Jail and to reimburse the county's general fund or public safety center fund for monies advanced for such purpose.
Commissioners, this resolution would allow the county to reimburse itself for any expenditures for construction costs incurred this year as well as any architectural or engineering costs from the previous 3 years prior to the sales tax-backed bonds being issued later this year. We just completed closed the request for proposal process for underwriting services and hope by the end of March to present recommendations to the board for your approval. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 14318.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 143-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 144-18, resolution endorsing legislation in the Ohio General Assembly to prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity or expression.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. It is the policy of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to promote equality and equal protection for all residents. The Ohio Revised Code currently does not prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity or expression. House Bill 160, known as the Ohio Fairness Act, is currently pending in the 132nd Ohio General Assembly and would prohibit discrimination on that basis. Franklin County Board of Commissioners have long supported efforts to prohibit such discrimination, going back to Resolution 50809 in 2009, endorsing then House Bill 176 of the 128th General Assembly. The Franklin County Board of Commissioners obviously has long been a long advocate for all in our community, and Franklin County is an open and welcoming county for all of our residents and visitors, but a job market that allows for discriminatory policies in the state inhibits its ability to attract and retain top talent and employers, hindering its ability to have an inclusive and thriving economy. And all Ohioans have a right to be treated fairly and equally, to be evaluated on the basis of their merit, and to enjoy the full and equal protection of the laws of Ohio. Therefore, this resolution would support legislation that is currently in the Ohio General Assembly, including House Bill 160, to change Ohio's anti-discrimination laws to include sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. Further, urging the Ohio General Assembly to pass such legislation now and in the future if necessary. And third, to require that the clerk is directed to deliver a copy of this resolution to the governor, to the majority and minority leadership in the House and the Senate, and to the Franklin County Legislative Delegation. Pending any questions, would recommend your approval.
Excuse me, John, I just wanted to say thank you for getting this done. I think what we now know in this state and in our community is that being open and welcoming to everyone of every ability, of every race, of every gender, of everything makes us stronger. And I am fully supportive of this approach and hope the state will be willing to take this up.
I would just add that, it is important for the legislature from time to time to hear from Franklin County via a formal resolution. And these kinds of documents do make their way through the General Assembly. They don't always agree with you or take action, but when a resolution is delivered there, it is officially shared with the members of both parties in the chambers and gives them perspective on our county on certain issues. And so it's our way of being a voice for Franklin County within the General Assembly. And so I think this is a perfect way to communicate to the legislature on an official level on a subject matter that I think is easily embraceable by the residents of Franklin County, as demonstrated by the kind of community we live in. So thanks.
And this is us being consistent. This is us reminding them once again. So I'd like to move approval of Resolution 14418.
And I will second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 144-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Are there any generalizations?
There is one.
Generalizations, I can't say it.
There's one from the Economic Development and Planning Department. The case number ANX-05-18, an expedited type 2 annexation was filed with Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on February 13th, 2018. The petition is requesting to annex 20.2 acres from Perry Township to the city of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on March 20th, 2018.
Great, thank you. That concludes our meeting for today. Have a great week. Hey, Kimball, you got a second? I want to tell you, so